Thanks for imagining that with me. Could you see it? Good. Because we can't be it if we can't see it. We have to see it. We have to have vision. We have to have imagination. And then live into that. We have to hold it as a possibility. You know, I'm Reverend Greg Coles, and I have the best job in the world because I get to go and I get to support other leaders, other ministries in our Great Lakes Unity region to help them to tune in, tune up, and turn on their lives. To tune in, tune up, and turn on their lives. What a joy. And we did that yesterday. We gathered together yesterday to exercise that faculty of imagination and allowing Spirit to guide us as to why we are here as Unity of Columbus. What is our unique vision and mission, and what are the core values we hold dear in order to create that for the world? And we didn't stay in the realm of what's possible today. So I want to talk about that. I want to share a little bit about that process, and I want to share the vision, the mission, and the core values that your community came up with before I strangle myself. Free entertainment. See, most people live in the realm of what we think is possible. The analogy I use is thermometers. What does a thermometer do? It takes the temperature. And then what does it do? Pardon?
Feedback.
It gives us feedback. Right. So it takes the temperature. If the weather's cold, it goes down. If it's hot, we go up. Whatever is happening out there, we adapt. And we fit right in to whatever's happening out there, to the external. That's what a thermometer does. Most of us live our lives that way. Like a thermometer, going up and down, as if life is just happening to us. However, in unity, we know that life doesn't just happen to us. Life happens through us. Yes, we have this thermometer going on, but we're also a thermostat. What does a thermostat do? It's not a rhetorical question. It sets the temperature. It has a setting inside itself. It regulates itself so it can affect the outside. And so in unity, we know we're not just thermometers going up and down according to what's happening out there. We have this setting, this spiritual setting, this divine compass inside us that only we can regulate in order to impact what's happening outside us. And no one can set that except ourselves. No one can do that except ourselves. If we're sitting around waiting for the others, we're just being thermometers. But we're not thermometers. We are thermostats. I love that analogy. And that's why we come here, don't we? That's why I come to Unity, to remember that, because I forget that. I go out there and I turn into a thermometer. And so I come here to remember that I'm a thermostat, that I am a divine child of God, and that I have that power of love that we talked about, that we sang about. And we said it's a secret. Well, I'm ready to drop the secret. I'm ready to start living it, being it, creating it, regulating it for myself so I can experience it out there too. I'm tired of waiting in secret. So following this analogy, only we can regulate our own thermostat. And many of us established our settings long ago as children. when we were told this was how much you can expect. Okay, that's my setting. But there's only so much good you were allowed. You were only as worthy as this. And so we set our settings accordingly, and we live according to the status quo. And we don't venture beyond that setting. Got a great example. You know, when someone wins the lottery, the research shows us within the year, they're right back to where they started again. They blow it within the year because they've not been able to really recalibrate and set their own setting to that new consciousness and vibration of abundance. And so it's gone, and they'll go back to the same old that they were expecting before, because they've not recalibrated their own setting. So what is your setting? What's your setting for how much love you can allow in your world? What's the setting for how much good, how much creativity you're going to allow yourself? How much risk you can dare allow yourself? What's your setting to live, to love? Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to experience challenges. There's always going to be war. There's always going to be suffering. Always. Jesus told his disciples there will be suffering always. I believe him. However, he also said, I have overcome the world. Jesus knew how not to live according to the world, but from that setting inside himself, and to influence the world accordingly. So the question becomes, are we going to be thermometers or thermostats? I was going to tell you the prayer of St. Francis there, but you already heard it before. I wanted to make it part of the meditation, but I'm going to say it again anyway, because this is what's possible for us. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. I am an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. See, I'm tuning in, tuning up, and turning on my life. And I'll let that radiate out into the world. Think about it. You know, when you're really on purpose, and things just happen for you, don't they? Like things just happen out of the blue. And like, you're on. It's because you're living in integrity with that setting. And the external calibrates itself with you. It's synchronicity. Some of us call it a coincidence. It's not coincidence. When you get really clear with who you are and what you do and how you do it, the world adjusts itself according to your setting. We've all experienced that. Some just think, oh, it's a coincidence. It's not coincidence, it's synchronicity. We have that power. The same holds true for our spiritual community. And just as we can tune in, tune up, and turn on our own lives, we can tune in, tune up, and turn on the life of our community. So over the past couple of days, we've been exploring that possibility as a community. I worked with the board on Friday night, had the privilege of playing and working along with so many people of this community yesterday. It was an extraordinary day. There's extraordinary consciousness and power in this community, in Unity of Columbus. And so we got really intentional about what we desire to create. What is the setting that we are going to, and and we are called to express and be in this world. Who are we? What do we do? And how do we do it? So over the past couple days, I've been asking people, members of this community, what's your vision? Why are you here? Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you get up in the morning and come here? What's your biggest dream or wish you have for the world? What's your highest vision for the world? Like the song Imagine. What's your highest vision? So let's imagine again, if you could go to sleep this morning and wake up tomorrow, or go to sleep tonight, wake up tomorrow morning, and the world has changed, and the world is what you want it to look like, what would that look like for you? What would that look like for you? I imagine there might be peace, no more conflict, no more need to engage in conflict. I don't have to pick up that rope and engage in conflict. I don't need to anymore. There can be peace. There might be harmony, true understanding between faiths, between different ideas, different opinions. There can be harmony. Abundance, where everyone has enough to eat. Everyone has enough to share. Not just 10%, not 1%. All of us, everyone. Wow. What would that be like? To really live into that. To recalibrate our settings and live into that. So this weekend we discerned what is our vision statement as a community. And did most of you maybe pick up a little flyer up front? Did you have that? What's it look like? I have one here, I think. If you didn't, raise your hand, and I'm going to ask our greeter to bring you one. Did you get one? Yeah, it's a little sheet of paper like this. Do you have one? No, can we have some? Raise your hand if you didn't get one. Thanks. Yeah, because I want us to go over these together. Because they did some extraordinary work yesterday, and we want to share this with you. And we want your input. We want your input. So the vision statement, where we came to yesterday, was united in spirit. We are a loving community, co-creating a world of peace, abundance, and joy for all. Oh. United in spirit. So I love in unity, we start with being united. And unity doesn't mean conformity. Unity means we're connected. It's not uniformity. So we are united. And how are we united? We are united in spirit. That one power, that one presence. So that's where we start. The united in spirit. We are a loving community. Wow, see, we're not just going to be any kind of community. We're a loving community. So our intention and our purpose is to be that loving community because we know love is the greatest power in the universe. God is love. So the Bible says, let it be so. So if we're united in spirit, we are a loving community, co-creating with God, with one another, co-creating a world of peace, love, and abundance for all. And so that vision and that awareness isn't just for myself. It isn't just for my community. It isn't just for my family or my workplace. It's for all of us. Every single one. Peace, love, joy. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of our Unity movement, says this: spiritual vision is seeing God as the foundation of all, the source of all, and the substance of all. Seeing the good, the true, and the beautiful everywhere. And in this matter is the eye single and vision perfect. In the Bible, we read, where there is no vision, the people what? Perish. Where there is no vision, the people perish. because vision is necessary for our evolution. It fuels our evolution. So let's read that vision statement together and feel into that for ourselves together. United in spirit, we are a loving community co-creating a world of peace, abundance, and joy for all. So this is the vision statement that calls us into relationship with spirit, relationship with ourselves, with everyone else, to co-create a world that works for all people. So after we considered our biggest dream, our biggest vision for the world, for why we're here, we asked, how are we going to do that? What's our mission? How do we accomplish this vision? So the vision is the being, the mission is the doing. And this is our mission statement, that with God as our source, Unity of Columbus inspires people to realize and express their divine nature in an awakening world. So again, we begin with God, knowing God is our source. Unity of Columbus inspires people to express their divine nature. The nature of love, of peace, of joy. Our 12 powers to express that in the world, in an awakening world. Because the world is always awakening. We're evolving. It's not stagnant. It's an awakening world, and we wake up with it. So we start there. So let's read our mission statement together, if you will. With God as our source, Unity of Columbus inspires people to realize and express their divine nature in an awakening world. And then we also looked at our core values. The core values are really the DNA of who we are. It's in our bones. It's not just who we ascribe to be or want to be, it's already who we are. It's the walk we talk or the talk we walk. And our core values are loving, that we are loving. We are expressions of divine love in action. We are learning. We are willing to grow beyond the boundaries of what I believe I know now. We are learning. We are willing to let go of old ideas and embrace the new. We're learning. We're authentic. We're real. We're vulnerable. And we're integrous. And we're creative. We're free and unlimited. I think you sing that song almost every Sunday. We're free and unlimited. We're creative. We don't have to stay in the bounds of what the thermometer says. We can go outside the box and be creative, color outside the lines. So we have a team of folks who will be identifying some observable behaviors for each of these 4 core values. Behaviors that we demonstrate as individuals and behaviors that we demonstrate as a spiritual community. And then I suggested that Darren and your worship team, Jim, work on developing a core values series, a Sunday series, to really share that, and also to share more about your vision and your mission. I had another quote I wanted to share. Here it is. Brene Brown. Brene Brown is a wonderful author, visionary, researcher, and storyteller. She says, the findings from the research is clear. We can't live into values that we can't name. And living into values requires moving from lofty aspirations to specific, observable behaviors. So again, we're going to get out of that woo-woo, wonderful vision, and really get specific of how do we get there? What does it look like? How do we really measure how we're going to get there? By being very specific. And there's a team of people going to do that. I think Chris is leading. I think Sydney's on the team. William. So if you want to join the team, who should they see? See Sydney. So if you want to join the team, see Sydney. They'll be working on that over the next 6 weeks or so, probably. And now's your time, because we want to get your feedback You know, everyone who was there yesterday had input, and then we said, oh yeah, that's the same as that, we'll roll into that. Oh, that belongs there. And we moved all the way up until we knew everything was included. Nothing was taken out. We got permission from everybody to roll it all up into this vision, mission, and core value statements. And so now we want your input. We'll be getting input over the next couple Sundays, probably in the e-news, and then the board of trustees will be looking at this because we need their blessing. They're the ones that approve all of the governance for this ministry. We bless them. We vote them in and we bless them for all the work they do. So we need your input too. And so on that little form that you received, there's a ranking system. And we're asking you on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being low and 10 being yes over the top, where do you calibrate yourself with this vision, mission, and core values? And you know, some of you, you don't automatically do a 10. I love it. I bless you because you're being real and authentic. Good. But I ask you, if it's not between an 8 and a 10, we want to know what it is that would make it that for you. So what is it that would make it an 8 to a 10 for you? Because it's okay if it's not, but we need your input. How would we do that for you? And then I want you to trust that this team and all the people looking at this, maybe you've already discussed that and believe it got rolled in already. I don't know. But we need to make sure that we get everyone's input. So, Jim, will you come down and play a little for us? Yes, he will. I saw that nod. So I just want to give you a few minutes just to read these to yourself, to really take them into your heart and read these words. And then fill out that little form for us. You can drop it off in the little basket out front where you pick them up. There's a basket to receive them. Or you can take them home, think about it, write some more information. It's up to you. But let's take a couple minutes just to play a little music while we consider the work of Spirit that got done through this community yesterday. Anyone else needs a pen, just raise your hand. She's got some pens in the back. Thanks, Carla. So we don't forget, leave them in our purse or leave them on the chair or in a book. So if they're complete, just pass them to the center of the aisle, and Chris and Carla will come down and pick those up. And if you need more time, take them home, bring them back, that's fine. But if you're done now, we'll take those. And as I say, we'll be sharing these with our classes, our special events, and on Sundays for a couple of weeks to see where we're at. Thanks, Jim. So Christopher Wren is this renowned architect, and he tells a story that well summarizes this message about vision. There's 3 bricklayers who were working side by side, and Mr. Wren was looking over the site, and he asked each of the bricklayers what they were doing. And the first man explained, "I'm laying brick." The second one answered him, "I'm feeding my family." And the third one said, "I'm building a cathedral to God." And Mr. Wren knew that it was this third bricklayer who had the vision of what was being done, building a cathedral to God. And so the question becomes, are we going to live our lives as bricklayers? Or will we live our lives as builders of a cathedral? Our vision, our mission, and our core values are those building blocks to the cathedral, to the life we want to create. They're the temperature settings of our thermostat. The vision, mission, and core values are the tools that help us to tune in, tune up, and turn on our lives and the life of this ministry. And the world needs us. Your families need you. The world needs us to tune in, turn up, and turn on our lives. Can you still imagine it? If you can imagine it, we can become it. God bless you. Namaste.